Hi, this is Katina and welcome to the live stream tutorial of how to play the Pink Panther. This has been a requested song for a while, so I'm happy to do this one. And the arrangement that I put together is on MuseScore, so if you want to go over to there, I put the link in the description so you can go ahead and click that if you need to have the sheet music. And we're going to start right in the beginning. This is actually an easier one. I made the arrangement so it doesn't cross the break. And we're going to start. So all fingers down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for this G sharp right there. So we're going to start on the G sharp, and then you're just going to lift up for the A, and that gives you the bottom right there. And then you're going to go to a B natural right here, da-dum, and that gives you the C. So let's just do that much. Now go back to the G sharp. So you have G sharp, A, B, C, then you're going to go to an F right there and an E. Let's just do that much. And now go to an A, a C, an E, and a D sharp. So we're starting on the A right here. And this is that great triplet section. So you're going to have D, C, A, G, A. I'll play that. So let me play that whole section straight through for you, starting on the G sharp right here. Now, just like the beginning, you have the G sharp, and then the A, then the B, and the C. And you're going to go back to the G sharp, then the A, then the B, and then the C, and then an F, and an E. Hey, Vanessa! I'm going to play that much right there. So we landed on the E. You're going to go to the C now, back to the E, up to an A, and you want to use the side of your finger right there on that knuckle to play the A, and then you're going to roll to that G sharp. So I'm going to play that whole section for you. All right, here we go. And then, once again, it's just like the beginning. So this one repeats a lot, but that's why Henry Mancini is so fantastic. Hey, Clayton! And it sounds so good. I have a little bit of water in my keys, even though I swabbed out before I got here. All right, I will take that question at the end. All right, so starting here, G sharp to the A, B to C, G sharp again, right there, to the A, B, C, F, right there in the back, E, C, or sorry, this is an A right here. Now it's a C, then it's the E, and you're going to land on the D sharp. You've already done this one. This is the first one you did. Now I'm going to play it straight through just to the D sharp. And the triplet part, you're going to lift up that D sharp right there, and then you're going to go to a D natural, and then a C, and then an A, and then a G, and then an A right there. So I'm just going to play the triplet. So I'll start on that D sharp because that's where we left off. Now we're going to play that be-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da part. So we're going to go start on the A right here. Play it with the side of your finger. I don't know if you could hear that, but that is my cat. He clearly wants to join us. So we have A right there. So we're going to have A, G, E, C, A, and we'll land on this D sharp, which is going to go to a D for that little dissonant resolution. Let me play that. Oh, I have that water in my key again. Starting on the A, excuse me. And now we have another triplet theme. So you have the C, A, G, A, A. Do that one 2 more times. Like that. So I am going to try and find where this water is, and then I'll play it straight through for you so you can hear it all together and see the fingerings all at the same time, and then I'll get to some of the questions that people are posting. All right, starting at the top on the G sharp. It's kind of fun to do a diminuendo there at the end. Now, when you go look at the sheet music, if that's what you end up doing, it is written as straight eighth notes, but we swing it. This is swung. So it's going to look like, and I can swing it around so you can see it real fast, because I usually print out a copy for me as a guide when I do these. But if you look at those eighth notes right there, we're not going to play them straight. We're going to swing it. And that's what the style is, and that's why it sounds so distinctive. Okay, let me get to some of these questions. I have them up over here on my other computer because when I do these live streams, I do them on my phone, so I don't get to see everybody's question on my phone. It disappears. All right, so hi Tyler. Hi Vanessa. It is easy. So Vanessa goes, oh, so easy but amazing. Yeah, the Pink Panther is really fun because it's easy to learn, and then when you play it, you sound great. It's also like that for When the Saints Go Marching In. That's another one that's pretty easy, and once you learn it, you sound like I was going to say a badass. So I said a bad word on YouTube. All right, because you guys have never heard that before. Clayton says hi. I say hi. All right, Vanessa, I'm trying to get to your really important question. Okay. But before we get there, Clayton says, just wondering what major is this in? I think you're asking what key this is in, and it's A minor for us. So this is where I have to put my transposition skills to good use. So A minor for us, I believe, is G minor for concert. So A minor for us. Okay, and then Vanessa, your clarinet sounds a bit strange and does not sound like a nice bass. A sounds very unprofessional. Okay, so you're talking clarinet sound. That one's hard, especially because I can't hear you, so I don't know where you're starting. So the first thing I always think about is equipment, just to make sure the equipment is working okay. So if your clarinet plays okay for you, you're not struggling too much to play it, you're not working really hard to get the notes out, then it's probably not the clarinet, right? There's a caveat. If your clarinet is one of the ones that you can get at Costco or on Amazon, some of the clarinets that you can buy online are not the greatest quality, so sometimes they don't sound great. Also, what your mouthpiece is can affect it too, so usually I recommend for students to get a student mouthpiece and not use the one that comes with the instrument. So I'll recommend a Pine Polycrystal or a Height Premier. But if you have some extra money or it's your birthday, the D'Addario mouthpieces are nice. The Van Doren mouthpieces are nice. You can get a good mouthpiece for a reasonable price, and in the clarinet world, reasonable price is about $125. The Height Premier and the Pine Polycrystal are substantially less. They're less than half of that price. Now, the reason why I said a reasonable price for $125 is then once you get into the Bakun mouthpieces or the handmade mouthpieces, it's $300-400, and they just go up from there. So check your reed and your mouthpiece, okay? And then I did a live stream about embouchure, and I really should just make some one-off videos about how to sound nice on the clarinet, and I will do that because that's a really good question. But a lot of it has to do with how your embouchure is and how your tongue position is. But the most important thing, Vanessa, that you have noticed is that you don't sound the way you want to sound. And that is probably the hardest part when I teach, is I can hear it, and sometimes my students cannot hear it. So I'll be saying, hey, you know, let's try and darken up your sound, or let's fix your embouchure, or we'll do these things to try and get people to get that nice sound. But if they can't hear it, it's very hard to get there. So you actually have gotten to a good place. It sucks because you don't sound the way you want to, but at least you can tell that you don't sound the way you want to. So I would keep listening, and then I will do a specific video on the things that you can do. I know I talked about embouchure in the last Ask a Clarinet Teacher, but a lot of that stuff you can experiment with too. But definitely I recommend getting that good embouchure. Check your mouthpiece and your reed setup as well. Another thing that can help is trying to do a different reed strength. So maybe go up half a step on your reed. If your reed's too light, that'll definitely affect your sound. So if you can put your reed strength size in there, I can answer that question directly. Okay. Any tips for teaching juniors about embouchure? Okay, juniors, are you a junior in college? Are you a junior in high school? It doesn't really matter. You're welcome, Vanessa. Teaching about embouchure. Okay, so I did this in my last live stream, and this is a question that is so important for all of us, and it'll keep coming up always. So one of the things that's hard about embouchure is that a lot of it has to do with feeling. So the first thing I recommend is using a mirror or flipping your smartphone over if you have it, so that you can do a selfie while you're doing this, do a selfie video. So you can see what you're doing, and then have a good picture as a guide that you can look at. So you see those little dimples there? Listen, I'm 45. It's kind of a bummer because I know these are going to be wrinkles, but hey, you know, they'll be clarinet wrinkles. So you want to have these nice dimples here and this chin pulled to a point, because this is a good way to get this firm. You can have a little bit of give in your lip depending on what your lips are like. So I have a fuller bottom lip than my top lip, so it's okay for me to have a little bit of a cushion there. If I go a little too firm, I have leaks. Now, why this is hard to teach, so when you're teaching this to other people, they go like this. They pull back real far, and that gets them kind of that chin, but you want more of a pointy chin. Now, I don't know how to shave, so I mean, I'm not shaving there yet. Let me know if you can see things I don't see in my videos. But you want this nice and firm, not a pucker. I see this thing, we call it strawberry chin, where people do this, and that's not great. It's bad, it's hard to control, it's hard to articulate, and it's not a great sound. All right, so you're getting these firm corners here, and you pull this chin down. One of the things we say is ew, ew, like that. So you can have your students say ew and bring their embouchure forward. That helps. Another comparison is a lemon, like you're puckering from a sour lemon, like that. I'll have my students go get milkshakes, but use the skinny straw with the milkshake, because then you're really working these muscles. So a lot of work with a mirror will help with embouchure. So that's the advice that I give. And embouchure takes a while. You're building muscles. So if you follow me on Instagram, I will put a picture up of a coloring page that I use with my students. We call it Scary Man, but it's from the anatomy coloring book. And I have so many to-dos, all my to-do lists. You can even see them up on my wall. But so the anatomy coloring book is great because you can see all the muscles and color them in, and you know all the names and everything, but you have tons of muscles over here. So when you're working on embouchure, be patient with yourself because it takes a long time to get there. And when you are doing long tones with your embouchure practice, which is how you do it, you will get fatigued, your embouchure will quiver, or the air will start to leak. Go ahead and stop and take a break and do something else. Go play Mario Kart or something. All right, let me check another question. Currently a senior in high school and I'm not sure how to teach my juniors. Okay, I hope that answered your question. And it's kind of fun to have the props, like bring a lemon in. That's always fun. Or bring many lemons in. It'd be super disgusting if you share a lemon with everybody. The little tiny coffee stirrer straws are also good too, because you can try and blow the air through that. It'll make you do that. Mirrors, have mirrors if people don't have phones with them. So, and another one I do is, I used to do chapstick. Tyler, if you're still watching, said that works for him, but that's one of the ones that, 9 times out of 10, that's a fail, because when people show me how they put chapstick on, it's like, which is not what we want to do with this. Okay. My mouth is not strong, so okay, Vanessa, this is you again. 2.0. I'm still not, okay. Listen, try 2.5, okay? If you're hearing the sound that you don't like and you're playing a 2.0, go ahead and do 2.5. And the reed strings related to your embouchure are not as big a deal as some band directors make them seem to be. So you may find that you go to a 2.5 and you can go to a 3, because everybody is different. All of our mouth cavities are different. All of our mouthpieces are different. So the reason why I had a feeling that you were on a reed that was too soft is because you're noticing the sound isn't where you want it to be. So try that 2.5. If it is still very free blowing. Now, I'm not saying you want a reed that's really hard and resistant, because none of us want that. You don't want a stuffy reed. You don't want a reed that's making you work really hard. Your reeds, you want them to work for you, right? So when I'm choosing reed strings, if my sound is kind of spread and nasty on a reed and it's very free blowing and it's hard for me to get the high notes out because I have to bite or put a lot of extra pressure to get those high notes out, that's how I know that reed is too soft. And then if the reed is very hard to play and it's a fuzzy sound and I feel like I'm getting a slight brain aneurysm, then that reed is too hard. So that balance is difficult. One of the good things is that reed companies are now selling just starter packs, not a box of 10 reeds. So you're not buying 10 reeds to find out if the reed is the right string for you. You can just buy 2 or 1. And some band directors will actually have it and you can try it out. And if you have a clarinet teacher, hopefully your clarinet teacher can give you some to try out. Okay, no problem, here to help a fellow clarinetist. Oh, okay, let me read these. The chapstick, I know Tyler's like, the chapstick one is good. I thought so too, but I find people that it doesn't work for at all. You're welcome, Vanessa. And then Clayton, no problem, just here to help a fellow clarinetist. Dude, so am I. Yeah, keep spreading it around. You know, what I love is that when we all share our knowledge with each other, we are sharing knowledge that has been shared down to us generationally. And I've talked about this before on the live streams, which is really cool. So if you're familiar with the Rose etudes, which I was practicing those before everybody got on, the 32 etudes, I can trace all my clarinet teachers back to Cyril Rose. So then you guys come here and you hang out with me and you ask questions and we talk, and then I'm sharing my knowledge that David Krakauer and Paul Green and Ricardo Morales and Yehuda Gilad and Raul Quartzi were my teachers, and they had told me that. And then their teachers were Joe Allard and Mitchell Lurie and Leon Rushnov, and so it goes on and on and on, about back like 150 years worth of clarinet lore and clarinet lessons. So now you get to pass that on to the next person. So it's a really cool kind of living knowledge. And since we're in this bizarre situation where people are all locked out of school right now because of the pandemic and we're shut down, and I get to do these live streams with you, it's the old-fashioned way of learning, but with modern technology. So the olden days, you guys would have found me and I would have given you lessons just like we do nowadays, right? But you wouldn't have had school the same way. It would have been an apprenticeship situation. And so now we get to do that together this way too, which I'm really excited about. So I'm one of those music teachers that's really into technology and things like this. So I like being able to share. All right. And now you are part of that chain. Yeah, you can go all the way back to Cyril Rose. And the other one, if you have a Daniel Bernard ligature, I don't know if you guys have those or know what a Bernard ligature is, and you can go look it up. A lot of people have them. It's an inverted ligature, so you'll see the screw in the back for some of them, and then they have the one in the front. Daniel Bernard is one of your grand teachers now as well. He's part of your lineage. So, aw, Vanessa, that's awesome. I'm sorry that we're all so far away from each other. I do online lessons, but it's not the same, you know, and I acknowledge that. I like playing with my students a lot. One of my favorite things is doing duets. And this year we couldn't because everything was canceled, but at the recital that I do with everybody, we all play clarinet choir together and stuff like that, because it's just fun, you know, to play with each other. Also for me, the first time I got to play with my teacher, the first teacher I ever played with professionally was my teacher, Paul Green, and that was really a huge thing for me because I learned so much from him by playing with him professionally. It was also terrifying because I was getting paid, and you don't want to mess up. Okay. Oh, you're up in New York. I hope you are safe in New York. I'll be thinking of you. New York is getting kind of scary right now. Yes, you can reach out to me online, and on my YouTube channel, I have my email address, which is csweetie@gmail.com, so you can reach out to me that way. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you always. Once again, I am so grateful to have all of you be a part of my YouTube channel, and I wouldn't be here without you guys, so thank you so much. I'm really grateful for all of you. And I think that's it. Did I get to everybody's questions? I think we did it. Oh, Outfall Gamer, you said your teacher uses the chapstick one. Okay, that's good. I'm not the only one out there. And then, okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming. Now I have to figure out how to turn this thing off.